Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today let's talk about the famous Indian English playwright Mahesh Dattani. Mahesh Dattani, born in 1958. Mahesh Dattani is a pioneering voice in Indian English drama whose plays challenge social taboos and articulate marginalized experiences. He combines technical brilliance with a deep human insight, making him not just a playwright, but also a social critic, storyteller, and a cultural historian. Through his plays, Dattani has initiated conversations around identity, power, repression, and the courage to be different, making his legacy both literary and transformational. Mahesh Dattani was born in 1958 in Bangalore, Karnataka, India, into a Gujarati-speaking middle-class family. That means he's basically from Gujarat. He was raised in a traditional household. Dattani was exposed to both a conservative Indian values and a cosmopolitan urban environment. These cultural tensions later became central to his dramatic work. Dattani studied at Baldwin Boys High School in Bangalore, where he developed an early interest in the arts, particularly dance and performance. Dattani pursued his undergraduate degree at St. Joseph College of Arts and Science, where he studied history, economics, and political science. Initially trained as a dancer under the renowned Bharatanatyam exponent Chandralekha, Dattani later worked as a copywriter in an advertising firm before discovering his true passion, that is, theatre. In the 1980s, Dattani co-founded the theatre group named Playpen in Bangalore. He began directing plays and performing in them, initially focusing on adaptations and existing texts. However, he soon realized the scarcity of Indian English plays that it dealt with contemporary Indian realities. This inspired him to begin writing his own plays that captured the urban Indian middle class experience, which until then had largely been underrepresented in Indian English theatre. Dattani's first full-length play, titled Where There Is a Will, published in 1988, marked the beginning of his journey as a playwright. He depicted a wealthy patriarch's posthumous control over his family through his will, that is a satire on property, gender roles, and patriarchy in Indian families. It received positive responses, signaling Dattani's potential as a playwright with a keen eye for middle-class hypocrisies. Mahesh Dattani's plays are known for dealing with bold, socially sensitive issues, many of which had previously been taboo in Indian theatre. The next work is Tara, 1990. This powerful two-act play examines gender discrimination and the role of the family in perpetuating inequality. Tara, a conjoined twin girl, is given less medical attention than her brother Chandan purely due to gender bias. The play explores disability, guilt, and a patriarchal favoritism in a poignant and a personal way. The next work is Final Solutions, 1993. Perhaps Dattani's most celebrated play, this work explores communal tension between Hindus and Muslims in post-independence India. Set in a contemporary unnamed Indian town, The play dissects how historical mistrust, personal trauma, and a political rhetoric fuel religious hatred. Dattani uses chorus figures or masks to represent the communal subconscious of the society. The next work is Dance Like a Man, 1995. This play delves into the world of classical dance, masculinity, and ambition. It tells the story of Jairaj and Ratna, two Bharatanatyam dancers caught between artistic passion and familial expectations. Dattani critiques how gender roles shape the careers and lives of artists in a traditional Indian context. The next work is Bravely for the Queen, 1991. Centered around two sisters married into a dysfunctional or business-oriented family, this play uncovers the toxicity of patriarchy, repressed sexualities, and domestic violence. The title, taken from a Hindi folk song about a heroic queen, is ironically juxtaposed with the emotional battles of its female characters. The next work, On a Muggy Night in Mumbai, 1998. This is a landmark play, an Indian English drama, for its open portrayal of homosexuality and closeted identities. Set during a party in Mumbai, it explores the struggles of gay men in a conservative society, the shame imposed by family expectations, and the politics of desire. The next work, 30 Days in September, published in 2001. This haunting play tackles the traumatic issue of child sexual abuse. It revolves around the character Mala, a young woman dealing with repressed memories of abuse by a trusted family member. The play broke ground for its sensitive psychological portrayal of victims and survivors. The next work, Where Did I Leave My Parda? Published in 2012, this play looks at the intersection of memory, aging, and theatre through the story of an aging actress who revisits her past as she prepares for the last performance. Dattani explores the history of Indian theatre, particularly post-partition trauma and the fading glory of female performers. Now let's have a look at the literary styles and techniques we can see in Mahesh Dattani's plays. Mahesh Dattani is known for blunting Indian sensibilities with a modern dramaturgy. His writing is tight, fast-paced, and emotionally resonant, often utilizing the following techniques. Non-linear narratives. Many plays are flashbacks or fragmented time structures, for example Tara, 30 Days in September, etc. Multiple spaces on stage. Mahesh Dattani often uses split stage to portray parallel realities and internal conflicts. We can see it in Final Solutions. Then chorus and masking. Inspired by Greek drama, Mahesh Dattani employs chorus figures to represent collective social conscience or repression. Minimalistic set design. Mahesh Dattani emphasizes performance, dialogue, and actor movement over elaborate staging. Use of silence. Dattani skillfully uses pauses and silences to suggest emotional repression or inner turmoil. Now let's have a look at the main themes expressed in Mahesh Dattani's place. Dattani's body of work reveals recurring thematic interests, gender and sexuality. Whether it is the internalized homophobia, as we can see on a muggy night in Mumbai, or the misogyny in the work Tara and Bravely for the Queen, Dattani exposes how Indian society stifles non-normative identities. Communalism. Plays like a Final Solutions and The Loudspeaker reflects the growing concern over religious intolerance. Middle class hypocrisy. Mahesh Dattani critiques the moral double standards of the Indian middle class, especially in domestic and social relations. Art versus society. Several characters in Mahesh Dattani's plays, as we can see in Dance Like a Man, wrestle between personal artistic identity and a societal or familial expectations. Silenced voices. Mahesh Dattani's theatre gives a platform to those traditionally excluded from dominant narratives, like poor people, abused children, women, and disabled. Recognition and legacy. Mahesh Dattani was the first Indian English playwright to receive the Sahitya Akademi Award, that is India's highest literary honor, in 1998. His plays have been staged internationally, including in the United Kingdom, United States, and Canada. Dattani has collaborated with international theatre institutions like the British Council, BBC Radio, and the Royal Court Theatre. As a director, Dattani has worked across languages, adapting and directing plays in Kannada, Hindi, and English. Mahesh Dattani's contribution to film and television. Dattani extended his storytelling to film with the work Morning Raga in 2004, starring Shabana Azmi. The film weaves classical music with a contemporary narrative, much like his plays that bridge tradition and modernity. His short films and TV screenwritings also reflect his thematic concerns with social justice and identity. Mahesh Dattani's works as a scholar and advocate for theatre. Dattani has also contributed essays and introductions in theatre journals and anthologies. He advocates for English language theatre in India, often arguing that it is not elitist but reflective of the complex hybrid realities of urban India. He has taught and conducted playwriting workshops across universities in India and abroad. Now, the publications of Dattani's plays. Several of Dattani's plays have been published in collections. Collected Plays Volume 1st, that includes Final Solutions, Tara, Dance Like a Man, etc. Then a Collected Plays Volume 2nd includes collections works like 30 Days in September, On a Muggy Night in Mumbai, etc. Then the third collection, that is Me and My Place, is a personal collection with reflections on his creative process.